The night was heavy with stillness, the kind of silence that felt thick enough to hold secrets. The city outside slept, but inside a small apartment at the corner of 7th Street, Ave sat awake with a storm in her heart. She didn't cry, she didn't scream, she didn't whisper a single prayer out loud. Instead, she sat curled on her couch with trembling hands tucked beneath her blanket, staring at nothing, and praying silently with every beat of her aching heart. No words, no sound, just tears hidden behind quiet eyes. Life had been loud lately, loud with demands, loud with questions, loud with pain. But tonight, she had no strength to speak. The weight of disappointment, uncertainty, and loss pressed down so heavily she felt like one more breath would break her. A job she believed was secure had slipped away. A friendship she trusted dissolved without explanation. Doors she prayed would open stayed shut. And worst of all, her faith, once bright and steady, flickered like a candle threatened by wind. Ava always believed prayer changed things. She believed God listened. She believed he held her. But lately she wondered, does he hear me? Does he still care? Am I praying wrong? And so she sat there, silent, the quiet becoming her prayer. Hours passed. She lifted her gaze toward the dark ceiling and closed her eyes. A thought slipped into her heart, a sentence she didn't form, yet it felt as if it was placed there gently. I hear even what you cannot speak. Her breath caught. Was it her imagination, or was it God? She didn't know. But something warm whispered inside her, a tiny spark of peace. Her grandmother used to tell her, God hears the tears you don't cry out loud. Back then, Ava didn't understand. Now, she did. Silent prayers were not empty. They were the deepest cries of the soul, cries only God could hear. She sank deeper into the blanket and let silence hold her. Maybe she didn't need to say the right words. Maybe she just needed to surrender. Days turned into weeks. Ava tried to keep going, waking up early, searching for work, pretending she was okay. But deep inside, a quiet ache followed her everywhere. Still, she didn't stop praying silently, constantly. In the kitchen, while making tea, on the bus, staring out the window, in the shower, where steam mixed with sighs, too tired to become tears. Before sleep, when loneliness felt closest. Sometimes her silent prayers were desperate. Lord, please, I need you. Sometimes they were raw. I feel lost. Help me. Sometimes they were nothing but breathing, just being present in front of God without a single word. One afternoon, she sat in a small garden near her building. Winter sunlight filtered through bare branches. Children laughed in the distance, their joy a gentle reminder that life still carried light somewhere. A man with gray hair sat on a nearby bench, feeding birds pieces of his bread. He glanced at Ava occasionally, not intrusive, just observant, like he sensed the quiet storm she carried. After a moment, he spoke softly, "You know, there's a kind of strength in silence." Ava blinked, startled. "I guess so," she replied weakly. He nodded with a wise smile. "People think faith always looks loud, singing, shouting, praising." His eyes softened. "But the strongest faith is often the one that whispers when the world is screaming." Her heart trembled. She swallowed. "What if I don't even have a whisper? What if I just sit and feel empty?" "Then you sit," he said gently, "and God sits with you." Ava froze. Tears filled her eyes. The man lifted his bread, tossing another piece into the air for the birds. Silent prayers reach heaven faster than loud ones sometimes, because they come from a place where words can't go. A breath she didn't realize she was holding escaped her. Something inside her loosened just a little. The man stood, nodded as if he had delivered exactly what he came for, and walked away. Ava watched him go, whispering inside her heart, "God, thank you for hearing even this." That night, she sat by the window of her apartment. Moonlight washed the streets in silver. The world was quiet again, and so was she. She didn't pray for blessings. She didn't pray for answers. She didn't ask for things to be fixed. She just sat with God in the stillness. And in that silence, something shifted, not outside her life, but inside her spirit. Peace didn't flood her instantly, but a soft warmth settled like a blanket over her soul. Maybe healing wasn't always dramatic. Maybe it began softly, like dawn creeping slowly into night. Weeks passed, and little signs of grace began appearing. One day, Ava received a call. A company she applied to wanted an interview. Something inside whispered, "I am working." Another day, a friend texted her unexpectedly, checking on her, offering a kind word. "You are not forgotten." A letter appeared in her mailbox, a small card from her mother with a verse written, "Be still and know that I am God." Tears filled her eyes. "I am here." None of these things solved everything, but they stitched tiny threads of hope through the fabric of her days. Silent prayers were moving mountains she couldn't see yet. One evening, as she journaled beside her flickering candle, she wrote something different, not desperation, but gratitude. "Thank you, God, for sitting with me when I couldn't speak. Thank you for hearing what I couldn't say. Thank you for quiet miracles in quiet moments." She paused, smiling softly, a real smile, not the kind she forced before. She wrote again, "Sometimes silence isn't emptiness. Sometimes it's sacred. Sometimes it's where your voice is loudest." On a Sunday morning, she visited a small church she used to go to. She sat quietly in the back row, hands folded. The choir wasn't loud. The pastor's voice was gentle. And in the middle of prayer, with eyes closed and heart open, she felt it, not a shout. Not a miracle explosion, just a whisper inside, "I never left. I never stopped hearing you. Your silent prayers built a bridge between your brokenness and my healing." Her heart loosened. Tears fell, but they were cleansing, not painful. Silent prayers had been her lifeline. God had been listening the whole time. She lifted her head slightly and breathed, slowly, deeply, peacefully. God didn't need loud to answer. He just needed her heart. Months later, as Ava walked through a new season, working a new job, reconnecting with loved ones, rediscovering joy, she still prayed silently often. Not because she was broken anymore, but because she understood. Sometimes the holiest prayers are the ones no one hears but God. Silent prayers had not only brought her answers, they brought her closer to Him. And in that sacred closeness she found a truth that became a whisper forever in her soul. In silence, faith grows its deepest roots. In quiet moments, grace whispers loudest. And in stillness, God heals the heart in ways words never could. She smiled, closed her eyes, and prayed once more silently. "Thank you for loving me in the quiet." And heaven heard every word without a sound.